Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, let's talk about it, y'all. This is PowerBook 2, my review recap for PowerBook 2, Season 3, Episode 5. No more second chances, baby. All right, your chances is done. Up. Finito. Listen, Lorenzo up out of here, y'all. R.I.P. We knew his time was coming. It was time for him to go. He finally admitted to Monet because he knew that she already knew what time it was. Baby, I'm the one that shot Zeke, okay? It was a mistake. I didn't mean to do it, girl. I didn't mean to do it. And she told him to get his ass up out of here, all right? We basically had Drew and his little boo going down, okay, to take care of the CI business, all right? And we had Monet stop and visit Evelyn and, whisper in her ear, okay, give her a little bit of info that she thought she would be longing for so she could go ahead and take care of, Lorenzo, of course, once she put two and two together and figured out that he was the one that took out Zeke. And just like we was expecting, baby, I know I was expecting, I saw it coming. Sax finally used his nosiness and his stalkerish tendencies towards Jenny to do something that actually made a daggone difference, okay? He followed her and found out that Lauren was alive and told Lauren, girl, you being used, I've been used, okay? This is all a farce, all right? Tariq did not want you no damn dead. He loved you. I saw how he was when he thought you was dead, girl. So she had to go and hit Tariq up, child, and let him know the people you think you could trust, you can't. The feds is onto you. They got an investigation on you. Your girlfriend tried to take me out. Did you have something to do with it too? Now, we also know that, you know what I'm saying, child, Drew little boo thing is the one that took out his daddy, so how he gonna be feeling about that? This is messy, 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 y'all. All right, let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Take it from the top. So, of course, we start out this episode with, now we got Blanca here, we got Jenny here. We knew this was going to happen too. Of course, they are trying to, do their own interview with separating Monet and Diana, going over their stories again. They know that Whitman was investigating her, so they do feel like she has something to do with this. We got Davis here telling them, hold up, wait a minute, okay, calm your behind down. You're doing too much. At the end of the day, she had the right to defend herself. This man was a trespasser in her home. We got proof that he was, coming, tampering with her car, messing around her house, showing up at her place of business and all different kind of stuff, even when he was on suspension. So she had every right to, protect herself. Now, of course, one more thing, Jenny says, Mrs. Tahi, how the hell did you get your hands on that damn gun for him to, in time if he was charging at you? And Monet basically says, well, I heard Diana scream and I grabbed my gun, and good thing I did, because if not, I would not have been able to save my damn daughter's life. Now, Lorenzo comes up behind her and was like, she's the victim. Why the hell are y'all here bothering her? I almost lost my wife and child. And Davis over here putting his hand on Lorenzo, comforting him, telling him to calm down. So, right now is nothing they could do. As much as they may know that they're the ones that took him out, they don't have no die-hard proof, so they got to go ahead and get up out of here, okay? Get to stepping, Jenny, all right? You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. So this, of course, is making them even more pissed. And we got Sax over here being Diana's lawyer and saying, all right, my client has answered all your questions, so back the hell up out of here, all right? So they go ahead and leave. Of course, Lorenzo's coming over asking Diana if she's okay, and she's telling them, yeah. Now, Monet tells Davis that she got rid of those daggone files, right? She didn't see no reason to be keeping them no longer, and that she's not going to go off that information that she got. Davis is right. She going to just chill out. And he's like, great. And because he told her, don't do anything because you never know who's watching, right? And he was like, that's good. I'm glad, that you got rid of that file, and I'm glad you're not doing nothing. I'm glad that's the direction we going in. That is absolutely what I like to hear. So now, when he leaves, she's just looking at Lorenzo now because, of course, she's still thinking about that fingerprint. And we like, Monet really gonna let something go? We know that's a big, big no. Now, of course, the class and the freaking, title of the episode and a lot of what we see in the episode all coincide. So we talking about choices, and we got Tate here visiting, Professor over here giving him googly eyes in the front of the class, saying that he gonna help them talk about the land of rebirth in America, reinvention and redemption, right? And so he starts talking about second chances and the founders of America and all of this. And of course, we got this boy in the class that want to talk about how his family came over on the damn Mayflower. And Bushonda and me is like, we don't want to hear it. All y'all did was come over here and steal for the indigenous people, okay? Y'all ain't have nothing. And, it's the people of color that basically have to go without. And he talking about some why race always got to be brought into it, and it's because it's a big factor that plays a big role in everything that goes down. We gonna talk about the people that get locked up and how there's more black people than, of course, white, even though they may do the same crimes. He want to talk about immigration being high, and basically Effie brings up that immigration and being able to have different people is basically supposed to be the foundation of America, right? It's a mutual agreement. And then, of course, Diana's the one that brings up the whole thing about the criminal justice system. And somebody says, oh, that sounds personal. And she was like, well, maybe it is, all right? And so somebody else brung up, yeah, now you're proving the point by how you're coming out at her, And Braden's sister always makes me laugh because she's one of those, that want to be down for the cause. And she basically bows up like, yeah, look at even with my brother's situation. If he was a person of color, he would have been under the daggone jail. But instead, he's over here working on Wall Street right now, right? She was like, that they would not give that redemption if he was somebody of color. So Tariq basically talks about, despite our decisions, the choices and the chances that we get are completely different. And then he basically gets a text, which of course is from Monet, where she's saying she need the informations on the guap. So now he uses this at the end of the class to come over to Tate and say, I got a little info for you that may be able to help out your investigation. From what I'm hearing, it was actually a guap that took out Zeke or whatever, right? He got caught in the crossfire. Tate is basically like, I'm listening. And he was like, that this would be good for Tate or whatever the case may be, right? It's actually would be like if his murder was to be solved or whatever the case may be, because the streets is saying this, then, this could definitely be something that could be good for press right now. And so, of course, Tate is going to do anything that he thinks is going to help him. And at the same time, get Jenny and them off the back and be able to get this answer from Monet, because she pretty much knows the answer, but she wants it to be confirmed. So, of course, he texts Jenny right away as soon as Tariq walks away and says he may have got something for her. Now we get to this meeting, Kiki, Tariq, Braden, they all doing the daggone thing as far as RSJ is concerned. He actually seems impressed with them, but not so much with Uncle Lucas, okay? He is basically saying what he wants, and he's saying that he wants them to come on and, come with him. Uncle Lucas was still trying to invite himself as well and say that it was important that he be there and the people was expecting him. But RSJ said, sometimes we got to do the unexpected. We can't make it seem too easy. We can't make them think, count their chickens before they hatch, so to speak. And he wanted Tariq there, and Lucas was trying to say, well, he's just an intern. He's like, yeah, but he's an intern that you thought was good enough to deal with things with me. So I'm confused. If he's good enough to handle my business, why wouldn't he be good enough to handle the Italian business? He says, he wanted Tariq to be there to translate. And of course, Tariq is the only one out of all of them that knows Italian. And Braden was basically like, yeah, that's true. At the end of the day, Lucas can't argue with him because he want this money, baby. So he's over here like, see, yeah, this is why I knew we would be a good fit. This is why I knew we would be a good team. We would work good together because of things like this. So basically, Lucas had to eat the dirt, okay, and like it. So he tells, RSJ tells Tariq and the rest of them that they're going to go ahead and meet him there. Now, mind you, Tariq talking about, well, I had a date with Effie that was lined up, and, At first, Kiki was like, well, then you just got to tell her that you got to reschedule. Like, this is important. You got to handle your business. But RSJ was like, listen, you could bring a +1. My jet got more than enough room. That's what I got it for, Plus, Tariq mentions how Effie is into robotics and she may even be able to help when it comes to certain things, dealing with the computer access and different things of that nature. And he's like, yo, you ain't got to sell me, okay? I'm cool with it. Just make sure you're out here and we ready to go when it's time to go. So now, Tariq meets up with Monet and he's like, look, it wasn't no IG that killed Zeke. Okay, I got the confirmation and the source that I'm getting this from is concrete, okay? So no, he did not have anything to do with this. He wasn't even here at the time. He was in the Dominican Republic. So now Kane is getting in Monet's car. She pulls up and he was like, why are you meeting me in the truck? I was here doing my gambling, getting some money. You interrupted me. And she like, yo, who told you that daggone IG killed Zeke? And he's like, Poppy. And she was like, Poppy told you this. Where did he get it from? You know what I'm saying? And you just believed him automatically when he told you this. So, he said Pops. Matter of fact, it's Diana that be calling him Poppy, but y'all know what I mean. So she was like, where did you get the proof and all of that? And where did he get his proof? What kind of proof did he have? So he's like, well, he just said it was the same MF that killed Zeke. She was like, and you believed him? He was like, well, I didn't have no reason not to. You know what I'm saying? He looking at her like, what are you talking about? You acting like this is some random dude. It's Pops. So if he say that it was one of the guaps, yeah, I believed him. And it wouldn't be so hard to believe because, we had a target on our backs for killing the guaps or whatever the case may be, so it made sense. And she like, yeah, okay, I hear you. She don't want to let on too much. And of course, Kane is not trying to let on that he knew, because his behind would be in trouble with Monet too. She just was like, of course, but she still was giving him that side eye, okay, that Monet side eye. Y'all know how she do. So Tariq and them get over here to where, of course, they about to go ahead and board this plane. Effie is all happy and taking pictures in front of the plane and all of that good stuff. And, Braden with his dingy behind, he talking about going and partying and all of this and putting his headphones in and don't even realize that he dropped the phone. All of us saw this part coming too. Of course, Kiki ends up picking up the phone and was trying to let him know that he dropped it. And she sees all the daggone orders coming in. So is she going to want to join them or is she going to want to go against them? That's the question, y'all. Put it in the comments. Let me know. Now, we basically have Blanca, Jenny, Sax. Child, Sax is just there to be there and want the drinks and want to hear what they got to say because we know he don't give a damn about no women. But Blanca and Jenny is feeling it. They are blaming themselves and they are saying that they know this daggone lady did this. They trying to see if they can possibly connect, of course, the Russian that got killed, the one that daggone Drew pushed out in the damn street that got hit by the truck. Excuse me, they trying to see if they can connect that. And Sax is just saying that's real, still not really nothing that's concrete that you could really connect it with. That's flimsy. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You really reaching and trying to stretch there, right? That's a reach. And so they're like, well, that's all we got to go on and we got to make it work. And Jenny is telling him, like, you supposed to be the CI. You really haven't been bringing us nothing. Your behind needs to get to work more than what the hell you been doing. Unless you want to end up like Whitman too, or we all going to be Whitman. So I said, Jenny, girl, you first on the list because you just dumb, okay? But moving right along, we basically get to Lorenzo and Kane having this, little shots and little talky talk or whatever, father-son bonding moment. And now they laughing it up and they actually seem to be on better terms. And he's telling him like, yo, I think Monet is on to something. She was asking questions. No, she didn't specifically come out and say your name, but she definitely knows that it wasn't the daggone IG that did it. So I think she found out something. And he's like, did she say anything about me or whatever? And he's like, no. So he was like, well, Monet, she's not going to show her whole hand. So if she do know something, we ain't going to really know. And Kane was like, well, why don't you just come out and tell her the truth? Listen, shout out to Detroit Kings and a few others that was been saying he needs to stand down, stand up and say what the heck he did. I agreed with that too. And that's basically what Kane was telling him. He's saying she'll never forgive me. Yeah, she won't, Lorenzo. But still, you should have just did that instead of getting Drew beat up and doing all the other daggone foolishness you did. I just did not agree with that. And so So that's basically what Kane is telling him. And he's basically saying, no, he don't. He can't. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to take that chance. He don't want to lose her and all of that. So I said, okay. Now, in the meantime, we got Drew and Dagon Gordo over here getting it in, and Gordo ends up getting a message where Drew is like, well, what's going on? What happened? You know what I mean? Talk to me. Obviously, something is happening. So he says, yo, one of the guys that end up getting popped, of course, is the CI, and he's still alive. He's in the hospital. I'm going to go handle it. Now, at first, Drew was like, yo, you over here messing around with a CI and you didn't know about it. That either means that you was down with it too. You expect me to believe that? And he was like, yeah. He was like, come on, I wouldn't put my family in danger, and I wouldn't put your family in danger. I know my father was a snitch, but I'm not one, okay? And he was like, I had no idea about this. I don't got nothing to hide. If I was a snitch, why the hell would I be telling you? But you know what I'm saying? I don't know, Gordo. I don't know. So at this point, Drew was just like, you know what, then I'm down too. What do you need? What do we have to do? You know what I'm saying? I'm all in this. It's not like you went and did this by yourself, and it's not like it just affects you. It affects my family as well. So what we gonna do? So obviously both of them is about to take a little trippy trip, okay, to supposedly clean up. But I was trying to figure out how the hell y'all cleaning up, because we know the hospital gonna be covered with cops, right? Now, Monet go ahead and see Daggone Evelyn or whatever, right? Stop by her Daggone cafe or whatever she have going on here, her little restaurant. And they wait for you, of course, the little workers that was in the front to go to the back. And Evelyn is like, Monet, what you doing here? What's going on? I heard about what happened at your house with the cop. Are you okay? So Monet is saying she not here about that. And she's like, yeah, she's okay. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to speak to her a minute. So she's like, what's happening? So, of course, Monet want to talk about she's seen a lot of people die and how it affected her with Zeke dying or whatever the case may be. And she be waiting for it to start, hurting less. And she was like, I can't imagine how you felt when you lost Frank or whatever. So Evelyn is like, why are you telling me all of this? And she just was like, listen, at the end of the day, I know this is how you felt when Frank was missing. And she's like, I got some info on you about, what happened to him or whatever. So she was like, well, that's not what you said before. And of course, Monet is like, well, that's what I'm saying now, okay? I know, Evelyn says she just wish she knew what happened to her. She feel like that could give her a little bit of peace. And so Monet like, well, I'm here to give you that peace, girl, okay? Because I know what happened to him. So she was like, what? And then Monet basically says, you deserve to know the truth. You know what I mean? I feel different about it now. And she, of course, says that Lorenzo was the one that put out the hit on him because he snitched. And so she's just sitting there looking at, her husband's picture that she got up on the wall or whatever. And she's like, well, what do you want me to do with that information? Why would you come and tell me this now? Are you trying to clear your conscience? And she was like, look, I know you was going to learn eventually, and I just wanted you to basically hear it from me. And to not do anything to any of my other kids, because I've already lost one child and I don't want to lose any other ones. And so she was like, yo, this is something that could change your family forever. So why the hell would you come and tell me something like this? And she was like, look, I can't stop you from doing what you have to do. I'm not even going to try to stop you. So she was like, well, what about if your kids find out about this? And she basically was saying, look, let me, worry about that or whatever the case may be. She was like, after Zeke, I can't take no chances and I can't take no more, losses. And so Evelyn was basically saying, as hard as it was to lose her husband, she can stand losing him, but not her sons, okay? She didn't want her sons to get tied up into nothing else. She didn't want to take the chance of losing them. Like, I love Frank, but I love my boys even more when it's all said and done, honey, okay? So I'm not going to risk them even for the sake of revenge. And so Monet was saying, like, that's your choice, girl. Do what you got to do, but can you live with it? And Evelyn was like, I think I have to. So now Monet says, well, can I trust you that this conversation is going to stay between me and you? Nobody else is going to know, what we talked about, regardless of the outcome. And so Evelyn said, baby, you could trust me just as much as I could trust you. I said, I know that's right, Evelyn. I'm with you there, okay? Because Monet, who the hell do you trust? Well, right now, she said Tariq is the only one she could trust. Now, at this meeting, child, the Italians was trying to get a little cute. They was trying to get a little cute, okay? Basically, of course, Tariq was doing a little bit of, translation, and he was like, what they saying right now is put your money where your mouth is. All right, they was trying to act like they had the upper hand. They was saying that, they definitely needed to know what was what. They felt like, don't sit here and waste our time type of thing. But RSJ had to come back at them and was like, well, we're willing as long as you're going to go ahead and address the situation you've been hiding. And they like, the situation we've been hiding, we haven't been hiding anything. And he was like, really? Because we know something that y'all been trying to keep quiet. And despite your efforts, we still was able to, go ahead and dig it up about that daggone product that you've been trying to put up and how it's caught, the Western's attention in the first place. And so here comes Tariq, upon my research, we found that your patent is basically not even worth, you know what I mean, the gas that we spent to get over here. So if you go ahead and correct that, and we could go ahead and have that corrected by Monday, then we definitely, could get to business. He was like, yeah, we could do that pronto. Okay, pronto is Italian, right? That's what RSJ said. So they said, get back to us, let us know what you want to do, if you're going to take our offer. And then, Tariq basically was like, thank you. Okay. And they kept it moving. So now we get Gordo and Drew at the hospital. And of course, just like we would expect, the freaking DEA is everywhere. But maybe good news, because we start getting a flatline. Okay. Homeboy is up out of here. Don't look like he gonna survive. They had to hurry up and duck in the staircase and hide. Now, Effie and Tariq is out here on some, dreaming. Okay, baby, we got the opera, we got the fancy outfit. She loving this up, He's telling, she's like, I can't believe we in, Italy or whatever. And he was like, yeah, all the way from the first date. And she's like, the first date? And he was like, yeah. He was like, with so much stuff going home and back home, and sometimes you feel like you can't breathe. And she says, yeah, between school and, working and trying to get this hustle on, she don't know what it feel like to breathe. So he was like, he ain't gonna lie, he loved this kind of shit. And he was basically like, saying what suit he would wear tonight, and she's saying what fancy dress she would wear, and they going to the opera and this and that. And then he was like, nah, as a matter of fact, you know what, I don't want to go to an opera another night. I want to have, dinner at home and cook for you. And she was like, boy, you coming up with that corny ass crap. And he like, nah, seriously. She was like, that's boring. He talking about something, not to me, anything I'm doing with my baby is a good thing, right? So, and he telling her he love her and all of this, and she's just basically looking at him, and they talking about how this could be a real, life that they could have together. And she was like, is that future Tariq? He was like, nah, that's present Tariq. But baby, Norma and Obi said, excuse me, yeah, y'all thought y'all was gonna sit here and dream and fantasize and enjoy Italy. Wrong, okay? Nope, not gonna happen, because we got some business for you to take care of. So of course Tariq is like, what the hell are y'all doing here? Obi is like, this is not the greeting that we expected at all. And so Norma starts saying how she's surprised to hear that they hopped on this private jet. Tariq is like, don't worry, this is separate. RSJ don't got nothing to do with the business we handle. He don't know nothing about it. And she was like, well, that's good, but it's something I got for y'all to do. Now she begins to tell him how Mecca, of course, has some business here too. And he hid something here, and she needs it back as a listening device. And they got to retrieve it. And it's planted with none other than her daggone ex that she used to have a relationship with. And, none of them could get nowhere near it, but because Tariq and them are not known, they could get in, and of course they could use RSJ name to be able to do it. And so, at first, Effie is like, well, if it's an audio file, can't we just intercept it? And of course they are like, girl, don't you think we will already know that? There's no way to transmit or whatever. You have to locate it. So y'all gonna go to Labarty's mansion, and y'all gonna get on up in there, and y'all basically gonna figure out where the daggone device is, and y'all gonna get it back. And if you don't, if you fail, of course, there will be repercussions. And so of course Effie's saying it sounds personal, and she was like, yeah, it is. So that's why you gonna find it, right, girl? So now, of course, we got them getting ready to go in Mission Impossible, child. Now, in the meantime, CI didn't make it, okay? CI did not make it, but we know that they had a phone, and Drew is able to come and confiscate the phone. Pay that damn money, okay? Lay some bread on the lady to say that the phone was given to family, and they are up out of there, Of course, he looks and sees the pictures of Lorenzo, the picture of, Braden and all of that different kind of stuff, and is able to delete it and was like, yo, if they would have freaking seen this, we would have been in trouble. Blanca comes right behind that, and of course she's like, what the hell are you talking about? Because homegirl says we gave the phone to his family, right? So this is another loss for them, of course, again. Now, we here at this party, we enjoying ourselves or whatever the case may be, RSJ talking about hanging with Victoria Beckman and all of this, and he's talking about how he'd be lying if it wasn't familiar to his story with his father and all of that. And Tariq talking about something, I never really knew my father. He was like, sounds like he had, two faces, one in public and one in private. And so RSJ basically laughed, and he's basically like, my father, he ran numbers or whatever the case may be. He was a petty criminal. Everybody told me I was going to end up like him. And he was like, they didn't expect, to see their, outside of their expectations or whatever. So he was like, I hope you do the same or whatever. And Tariq is basically, shaking his head in agreement. So we keeping them busy downstairs while Effie and Braden go upstairs to try to look around. Now, of course, Braden don't know where to look. They trying to find somewhere. And Braden, of course, gets caught there. Effie does end up finding the device after they take Braden out of there. And, of course, we have somebody that come and catch her, too. But I guess because she was in a woman in a dress, we going to just let her slide because she was like, if you don't tell, I won't tell. In the meantime, Braden getting the crap beat out of him, okay? And I know people love giving Braden a hard time because he didn't catch a body. For me, that's just not really a big deal. I feel like eventually, yes, he is going to have to catch one. But it's not to the point where I'm like, oh, Braden, you this and you that because you didn't catch one. Not everybody is built for that, right? But one thing that I do like with Braden is he don't snitch. I don't care what you're doing to him. These boys was beating the crap out of him. And he was sitting there taking that daggone beating. And he did not say who or what, when, why, or nothing. He just was like, yo, call up my daggone family. You know what I'm saying? They will tell you who I am. But Labarte had already looked into him, and not only did he know who his family was, but he also knew that basically, of course, Braden had the whole I'm a drug dealer thing, right, that he admitted to. So Lombardi is basically feeling like he's working for somebody and he want him to give up that name. Now, back at the house, we having family dinner. We actually laughing and talking about old times. We saying how we remember in Puerto Rico, but apparently Diana doesn't really remember that because she was too young. They laughing. Drew saying how him and Monet always was beating their behinds in spades. Let's get it right. Monet over here high-fiving him talking about something. I know that's right. And so Lorenzo tells Diana to come on and step in the kitchen with him for a minute, and he's asking her if she's okay. And she just was like, yeah, it's just that some of the memories they all have, I don't have. I don't remember none of those things or whatever, right? And I didn't get to have any of that. It was always basically seeing you locked up and then, us dealing with business and stuff like that, and that's it. So she was saying she can't really, keep messing around either because where she work at, the manager and the attention and all of that. And he actually apologized to her and was telling her that's on him and he's sorry that, he got her mixed up in all of that or whatever the case may be, right? And so I was kind of glad that he got to a better place with Kane. He is apologizing to Diana for her getting, mixed up in all of this or whatever, right? And he just basically was like, let's pull the plug. You know what I mean? He was like, that's it. It was done or whatever. And his family first, and you're going to go get your college degree and not going to focus on anything else and all of that. And she's like, seriously? And he's like, yeah. So, of course, she gives him a big hug and is like, thank you, Poppy, or whatever for him saying that. Now, of course, Tariq and them is worried about Braden. They trying to make these calls and get help and try to get him back. We got Kiki coming looking for him, and we don't want her all up in the business when even though more than likely she's probably just coming, because of what she's seen on the phone. And we got Gordo coming around to see, Drew again, and we got Monet outside sipping on some wine saying that's what's keeping her warm right now. And, he said, I wanted to say sooner that I'm sorry for not making it to Zeke's funeral and all of that. I know how it feels. And This was my first time being able to talk to you about it alone. So, of course, she asked him, and we just heard this in another show recently, how do you get over it? How do you move past? Do you still feel the pain? Are you still angry? And he's like, absolutely. She was like, when do it go? He was like, I don't know, child, okay? If I find out, I'll tell you. He was like, at the end of the day, if I could still get back at the person that took my father out, I would. Of course, Monet gonna be ready to tell you, right? Who she gonna say took him out so you could go ahead and get them up out of here? And she says she feels the same way about Zeke, and she also tells him, be careful with her son or whatever. Like, you here to see Drew, you better not help him or hurt him, all that kind of stuff. And he was like, I know, or else, right? And so now we got Dagon Davis at the office, and I guess Sax was bringing him, the recent files that Jenny had gave him or whatever. And this is something that they never been able to come across that could be good for the case. This is the closest they ever got. So at first, Davis is saying both of them should go. And here we go again. Davis puts this file in his desk right in front of Sax and puts the key right in his damn face. It's like, well, keep the key in your damn pocket, Davis. Why would you be leaving it out on your desk? So one minute he's telling him to come with him or whatever the case may be, and the next minute Sax makes up an excuse why he can't go. He stays behind, mad obvious, gets the folder out or whatever the case may be, takes a picture, of course, because one thing Sax gonna do is get a damn picture, and he sees that it's Whitman's damn, case folder, whatever the case may be. And he calls up Jenny. Matter of fact, he texts her, whatever, left a message and said he needed to meet her, and she's like, not right now. Now, Tariq's plan was to go meet up, of course, to get, Braden back or whatever, and they come on and bring him out, and he's saying he could give them this job. And Braden comes over all messed up, child. His stomach is in probably in his damn back and coming out his butt at this point. They done punched it so hard, okay? So Braden like, hell no, I'm not okay. When they asking if he's okay or whatever. And they do let him go, and they say that they will let Effie and Braden live, but they telling Tariq, like, you gonna have to go ahead and tell us, who you been working with, and got the gun to his head. And the next thing you know, baby, pow, 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 okay? These Italians is being knocked down, and when we look around, Noma over here walking up, and they like, you took your sweet time, and she's like, that's not the way you say thank you, okay? And she got some shooters that was up on the damn, some snipers that was in the cut with the camouflage on, and she was like, we was coming, we was gonna help y'all, we was gonna get y'all out, and where is my piece? You did a very good job, Tariq. You are very smart, because at one point at the table, Obi even said, I told you he's the smart one. So they are impressed with Tariq. And that may be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because now they want Tariq to stay on. They want him in charge. They like this little team that he got. They like how he flow. They like how he moving. And we want you to do our business on a regular basis now, okay, like Mecca did. So instead of this being something that they had 30 days to do and then we gonna just go ahead about our business, maybe not, right? So then we got Effie basically showing him that she took this picture and that there may be a way that they could use Noma's daughter as leverage, because apparently Noma had a baby with this man that was her ex that she just killed, mind you. So Tariq is like, girl, are you crazy? Like, that means she just killed the father of her child. And Effie was like, and? He was like, and that means she crazy as hell. I'm going to keep that in the back of my bank, y'all. Y'all know I am. Now, if you know, you know. Now, moving on from there, we finally had Lorenzo say, I got to talk to you, Monet. I got to tell you something. Because she was just talking about how, y'all can sit here and find Whitman's killers and go all hard for him and run all up and down and through my house. But when it comes to Zeke, y'all ready to just chalk it up to it being a gang. So finally, he admits it. Yo, I was pissed. I went looking for Mecca. I was trying to get to him. It was a mistake. I did not mean to do anything to Zeke, but I killed Zeke. And she was like, yo, motherfucker. Okay, how dare you? She was like, so you didn't trust me. You didn't believe me when I said, what I was going to do and to stick to the damn plan. Because she was like, what mistake? She let him tell her even though she already knew. And she was like, you've been saying in my face, you've been seeing me struggle, going through the motions, grieving, crying, putting me other people that you telling me did it, and the whole time it was you, and your raggedy ass ain't say a damn thing. She was like, you didn't trust me. That's what it all boiled down to, and you thought that, you know what I'm saying, I was gonna go away with that nigga. So he was like, maybe, I don't know. He was like, I just know that I wanted to kill him, that I didn't want to take the chance. I wasn't gonna let him do what he did to my family and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking, and I just, you know what I'm saying, went crazy and got caught up in my feelings, and it is what it is, and I gotta stand up. I gotta admit it. I gotta take that, you know what I'm saying, heat for it, or whatever the case may be. You know, he was like, it was Zeke, but he was like, look at all the years that we put in and the family that we have and our kids. You know what I'm saying? I never meant to hurt you or whatever. It really was an accident. So, of course, at this point, she punching him. She slapped the hell out of him. She was like, accident. You know what's an accident? The fact that you sat in my face for months lying about this or whatever the case may be, making me lose myself and lose my mind and lose my sleep and all of that. So now he's like, well, you the one that went and had Zeke. You the one that brought Zeke here and brought him into all of this. And you the one that freaking slept with damn, like I said, Lorenzo, do you really want to say that right now, boy? Do you really want to say that right now? Shh, I don't think you want to say that, but he says it, y'all. So she was just like, you trying to blame me, motherfucker? So he was like, look, we both made mistakes in our life. I made a terrible mistake. You made mistakes. Can we please just move on? Can you forgive me? Hell no. You know what I mean? He talking about something, I love you. She said, I hate you. You killed my son. You shot him dead. I hate you. Okay, what I need you to do is get on up out of New York. Okay, he talking about some, what about what we built? What about our family? What about our kids? She said, we going to tell the kids we separated. I'm going to do you a favor. Okay, I'll do that much for you. I won't kill you out of respect for them. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm not going to give you the bullet you deserve. You're going to get the hell up out of my house. You're going to get the hell up out of New York. He was like, no, please. She said, no. We telling them we separating. Get the hell up out of my house tonight. Go. Okay, and took that glass and was like, psh, get the hell up out of here, all right? So Lorenzo leaves, right? Now, we basically had Jenny going home, and just like I thought, Sax was out here saxing, baby. Nobody could sax like Sax, as annoying as he is. He followed Jenny ass home. He walks up. They like, what are you doing here? You can't just come up. You know, he's like, this is ridiculous. I'm from the DA office. You know, I left my ID in the car. He like, Jenny, what the hell is all of this? So she's like, what are you doing here? You follow me? Like, I know you didn't follow me. She was like, get the hell up out of here. So he was like, Jenny, what the hell is this? What are you hiding from me? And she was like, listen, you following me here? That's crazy. You follow me because you're jealous? And he was like, no, you've been ignoring my phones and my texts and all of that. You standing here with guards. What the hell is going on? And she says, this is insane, even for you, Sax. So he was like, you know what? This entire time you've been full of crap. You haven't been honest with me. I'm risking my legal career. If you don't tell me what the hell going on, that's it. All bets is off. I'm not doing nothing. I'm out of here. And, you know what I'm saying, sayonara. So she was like, okay. And meantime, Lauren is right there like, right in the damn door. I'm like, Sax, look up. Sax, look up. Sax, look up. And he was like, you know what? You lied to me. You lied to Lauren. That's your damn problem. Only thing you think about is you. Do you even feel anything? Was anything you ever said real? Did you ever do anything for anybody else besides your damn self? You know, I told you Tariq didn't kill Lauren and all of that. And you still had me on with this dumbass plan of yours. And, you know, of course, Lauren is hearing all of this. He was like, you talking about we on the same team, then who's in there? What is this all about? So Lauren come popping on out finally. And he like, Lauren? Oh, wow. Oh, Lauren. Okay, Jenny. You unbelievable. You let me think she was dead. He said you manipulated me and you manipulated her. So here goes Lauren. Is it true? I said, Lauren, girl, child, do you got spam inside your brains, girl? You talking about, is it true? Jenny talking about just get back inside. And Zach said the most important thing of it all. You know what? You don't even have to stay here. You don't belong here. She can't keep you here. Legally, she cannot keep you here. He said, I know that Tariq didn't do anything to try to hurt you. He loved you. He was devastated when he thought you died. And then he walked away. And here come freaking Lauren. You told me this and that about Tariq. You said he tried to kill me. You were lying to me this whole time. I said, girl, Lauren, if you don't get your ass up out of here, girl, get your ass up out of here. You about to be dead for real. Go to your damn parents, girl. So, anyway, y'all. You know, this is what they saying true. You lied to me too. The whole time Jenny telling her to go back inside. She like, no, I want the truth now. Tell me the truth. Tariq didn't try to kill me. You told me all of this and I told you it was Effie. She said, yeah, it was Effie, it was Brandon, it was Tariq, it was the hottest. No, Jenny, it wasn't, you dumb bitch. Sorry, y'all. So anyway, they go ahead and escort, Sax off, but not before he say what he gotta say. So now we back at the daggone house. They playing spades, Monet talking about Lorenzo gonna be here in a minute. He stepped out, and when he get here, we got something to talk about. And then we see that 917-555-5014. Say, meet me on the south side of the campus. I said, Lauren, bitch, that's you. I remember that number from when you was texting Jenny. So Tariq like, who the hell is this? So he got head out, and he got walking out, and then he like, Lauren? Lauren, I don't understand. All right? So he's like, you alive? So he over here ready to touch her and shit, and she there with a shank. Okay, y'all. He was like, the fuck? What are you doing here? How did you get here? What's going on? She was like, yeah, I need to ask you the same thing. Why did you do it to me? Why did you do it? Why did you want me dead? And he's like, what are you talking about? I never wanted you dead. She was like, did you tell Brayden to give me to her? Give you to who? Give you to who? What are you talking about? She was like, your girlfriend, Effie. She took me from Brayden, okay? Knocked me out and dumped me in the river. And he was like, what? He was like, look, I had no idea. I didn't know nothing about this. I swear to you, like, I don't know, no idea what you are talking about right now. He was like, I cared about you. I would never want to do something like that. That's why I sent you with Brayden, to protect you from all of this shit, to save you. She's like, where have you been all this time? He was like, where you been all this time? He was like, they lied to me. I can't believe this. He was like, oh, I got to go talk to this right now. So she said, no, you can't say nothing. You can't. She was like, you can't. She was like, they can't know that I'm alive. He was like, well, you gonna have to believe me. And then she was like, well, if I would have known you was alive, I would have never. So she was like, well, he said, where you been? She said, I've been with the feds. He said, you been with the feds? She said, yeah, they building a case against you. He said, so wait, and you're the witness? She was basically like, look, if what they're saying is true, me and the feds is the last thing that you need to be worried about, honey. You got a lot more to worry about than us. So he come back in the room now. He putting everything down, and Miss Effie wake up, honey. And he go ahead and slide on over in the bed. And he looking at her, and she talking about some, Tariq, I got something to tell you. I want to talk to you about something. I want to say something to you, or whatever the case may be. And so he like, oh yeah, what's that? And I'm like, yeah, Effie, what's that? What you gotta say, girl? Or are you gonna spill the beans too? Or is this gonna be your moment of truth like it was for Lorenzo? You know what she said? I love you. And Tariq was like this, and I'm like this. Okay, girl. So, moving on from there, Lorenzo coming out, he notices a needle in his damn tire, and he like, oh, puta, and he opening up the damn trunk, trying to, take the spare out, baby. Then Gordo come up behind him, okay, put that freaking cord around that neck. Lorenzo is out of here, out of here, out of here. He said, bleed, bitch, okay, bleed. That's from my daddy. And that was how it went off, y'all. He basically texted somebody, and when we see again, Monet and them is over there playing their spades. Her phone vibrates. She take it out and said, thank you. Done. What y'all think about this episode, y'all? What y'all think about this episode? Put it in the comments. Anything that I forgot or left out, put that in the comments. Tell me what you rated. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think we getting in the next episode. Put it all in there. Let's discuss. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you are so inclined, give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Till next time, y'all. This is getting spicy, y'all. Spicy. I guess we get the funeral next, all right? Poppy gotta get buried. And Diana gonna be mad. Child. Messy.